Prosecutors say a Fairbanks soldier killed a man. Alaska's news source investigates the state's ankle monitor system after police say the suspect's monitor was missing some key technology.
And it's the first day of a Kinnick Bridge closure. We're taking a look at the traffic flow during rush hour.
And stormy weather moves out and the heat moves in. I'll show you how warm temperatures will stay this weekend.
Rashawn was in the right place at the right time with the right size feet.
And shoes meant for an NBA great make the long trip to Alaska. How a lucky high school basketball player ended up with new gear.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
We begin tonight in the interior as murder charges are heard. The Fairbanks active duty soldier, who court records show was out on bail when prosecutors say that he shot and killed a man that he knew, appeared virtually in court today.
And that comes as Alaska's news source investigates has uncovered new information about the suspect's state-issued ankle monitor.
Investigative reporter Johnson Kuhn is here to tell us what he has learned so far. Johnson.
You may remember the Fairbanks police chief said earlier this month the state ankle monitor 24-year-old murder suspect Fort Wainwright soldier Adaeus Robertson was wearing when prosecutors say he shot and killed a 37-year-old man did not have certain GPS technology. Since then, Alaska's news source investigates has been asking state correction leaders to confirm and explain that information. Adaeus Robertson appeared virtually from jail late this afternoon in a Fairbanks courtroom for a preliminary hearing on first-degree murder charges related to 37-year-old Joseph Cass's death. The police said earlier this month when Robertson killed Cassis, his Department of Correction monitor, similar to the one we're showing, did not have what's called a geofence. That's a piece of GPS technology the Fairbanks police chief says is supposed to alert law enforcement if Robertson traveled somewhere he was not supposed to. When I reached out to the DOC's spokesperson, she would only confirm Robertson was under court-ordered supervision. But Betsy Hawley said she could not share information on those conditions, saying specific details about the terms or conditions of that supervision are protected by law and not subject to public disclosure. Due to ongoing felony case and the potential risk of inadvertently disclosing protected criminal justice information, it is in the best interest of all parties to prioritize the integrity of the legal process. And we've also talked about bail in this case as well. Robertson was out on bail and wearing the ankle monitor because of 2 February and March cases, charges related to assault, escaping, and violating release conditions. Robertson also had scheduled arraignments for those other cases today, and there's also another separate January assault case, which is scheduled for a May trial. Robertson's bail remains set at $2.5 million, and we'll keep you updated on all of this. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
Well, in 1993, Sophie Sergi was sexually assaulted and murdered. Her body found in the bathroom of a dorm on the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus.
Well, 32 years later, the man found guilty is appealing his conviction. Alex Bangle is in Fairbanks explaining what we know.
Stephen Downs is currently serving a 75-year sentence for the crimes after his conviction in February 2022. But he was able to remotely attend Monday's appeals court hearing, which took place in Anchorage. His attorney claiming investigators were violating Downs' privacy by using a family member's match with DNA found at the crime scene. The state rebutting that there is no right to privacy when DNA is left at a crime scene. Downs' appeal further argued the trial court was wrong to exclude from evidence a confession reported secondhand to Alaska State troopers in 2009. To this point, the state supported the exclusion, calling the report hearsay and arguing that Kenneth Moto, who reportedly made the confession, had already taken a DNA test and been excluded. Moore has denied involvement with Sergi's murder. It is unclear at this point when the court will rule on Downs' appeal. Alex Bangle, Alaska's news source.
Alaska State troopers say speed and alcohol may have been a factor in a crash that killed 2 teens near Golconda early this morning. Troopers say it happened on the Richardson Highway near mile 122 around 1 a.m. 19-year-olds Anthony Nelson and Nathaniel Croto were killed when the 2005 Toyota Camry they were in crashed. Troopers say that Nelson was driving. A third unnamed adult passenger was not hurt. Valley drivers get ready for delays. A major construction project started today that could tie up traffic in and out of Anchorage for the next 2 months.
I would say we take a live look where the Knik River project is happening. Here you go. That is live. Traffic looking to be flowing pretty well right now. In the foreground, you see the closed bridge, the north and south traffic traveling on the other side of the median on the southbound bridge. Lauren Maxwell was out there today and kind of lets us know what you can expect.
Well, that's right. The DOT is making what it's calling much-needed improvements to the Knik River bridges here on the Glen Highway, and they're doing it one bridge at a time. Wednesday morning, the northbound Knik River Bridge was closed for repairs that are expected to take a month. While that's happening, traffic is diverted onto the southbound bridge. In the morning, 2 lanes are open heading into Anchorage, with a single lane going north to the valley. That pattern switches right around 11 a.m. to accommodate the evening commute back to the valley, with 2 lanes open northbound. The DOT says it knows it's a lot, and people will need to pay attention.
When you're driving through the work site, there's a lot of easy distractions. We have narrower lanes, we've got workers, we've got equipment in the area. So please slow down, pay attention to the speed limits, and be courteous to your fellow drivers.
The speed limit through the project is 45 miles an hour, and traffic fines are double for people who don't obey. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
If you're out in Anchorage today, you probably noticed it's a little bit warmer and very pretty.
Oh, so beautiful.
It is so nice.
Beautiful, especially on the east side of town. We're checking in with Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry for the forecast.
Yeah, we saw temperatures again pushing to nearly 60 degrees in East Anchorage today, even back into those mid-50s on the west side. Warmest day that we have seen since last September. Now, it has cooled down a little bit. We have some clouds pushing over the city as we speak. 49 out of Ted Stevens, still holding on to those low 50s through Midtown, east side out into Eagle River. And you can see that cloud cover here in our live camera in Midtown. Even a few showers showing up on the east side of town up into the mountains. Those moving through pretty quickly, but again, dropping our temperatures just a little bit from where we were earlier this afternoon. Still holding on to sunny, dry conditions in the valley. 53 right now in Wasilla, 53 as well under the sunshine in Kenai. A little bit cooler in Homer and Seward, where we do still have some showers wrapping around. And those showers just lingering in behind this area of low pressure that's bringing much wetter conditions into southeast. Rain will continue for those areas heading into tomorrow. Chance for an isolated shower in Anchorage tomorrow, but otherwise holding on to those mild conditions, still starting out in the mid-30s. And then again tomorrow, we'll see high temperatures right back into the mid to upper 40s. And I'll have a look at that 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Education funding crisis. A hearing was abruptly canceled this afternoon, one day after lawmakers failed to override Governor Dunleavy's veto of $1,000 per student increase. The governor's new bill, House Bill 204, includes a little more than half the previous increase of $560 per student. Homeschool correspondence additions and charter school reforms also included. At the canceled Senate Education Committee meeting, we expected to hear from school district representatives from across Alaska. Before that happened, Senate minority members who supported the governor's veto spoke about the push to get an education funding bill passed.
We still have numbers we haven't been able to solve. And that's one of the big parts of this argument, why we find ourselves in deficit spending. And I believe the Senate Finance co-chairs were trying to make that clear when they spoke yesterday on the floor to say, look, this is not something that that is just easily solvable. We have to find ways to pay for this. We can't just say, yes, we want to do it. It has to make sense. And we do have, as well, a constitutional requirement to balance the budget.
Now, House Bill 204, that new education funding bill, was introduced this week. It's currently in the House Finance Committee. Late today, Alaska's news source learned the tentative plans to reschedule the canceled education leaders hearing for Monday.
Still ahead, an NBA hero's connection to an Alaska high school student.
How a basketball player ended up with a piece of history on his feet.
And we take you inside the gates, highlighting the month of the military child.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Alaska has a long history with the military's Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps. The program many of us know as the Junior ROTC aims to teach high schoolers and help them character develop.
Adrian Peterson shows us how Fairbanks' West Valley High School Junior ROTC members were recognized in this week's Inside the Gates.
Through demonstrations like this, West Valley High School students got to see the experiences of the junior ROTC program. These students are also West Valley students.
Sometimes it's a little hard to understand what that specifically means. And just having an assembly where we can show the recognition for those particular students that are here in our community is just a little bit more of awareness to them.
That awareness, JROTC instructor Carlos Cruz says, came in the form of a drill performance and physical challenges.
The main significance, and it's part of the reason we have the assembly, is especially letting the civilian population know our military connectedness.
In fact, West Valley Principal Mark Winford says 1/4 of the students in the school district are military connected.
I've worked with military students my entire career.
On this day, April 15th, Winford acknowledged what's known as Purple Up Day and the challenges they face.
It's something that we always have to be cognizant of and aware of, just as educators.
A lot of the kids have traveled and changed rotations, one duty station to another a couple of years before they even arrived to us.
And that's what it's about on this day, making sure the community knows the life of these students. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.